Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we will continue with our interview preparation series and discuss some salient features or important aspects of interviews and how to manage those questions which are generally asked in interviews. So we will start with the one of the most important questions as well as the first question you are going to face in the interview, which is your self-introduction. Invariably, in any interviews, this is going to be the first question that is put to you. That means they will ask you either to say something about yourself or introduce yourself or you talk about yourself for a while. This could be the question structure. So essentially what they are saying is that you just describe about yourself in a nutshell. And it is why this is being asked because they already have all the details regarding you in the biodata that you have submitted. But still, they want to hear you speak about yourself. So that is why this particular question is always asked in the beginning. So it is to assess the candidate's ability to project himself or herself, how well you are able to project yourself, and by touching upon the important things, not the all the things, but the important things that are the highlights of your life so far, you need to touch upon. So how you are doing that and to judge the communication skills. Yes, this is very important. It is not just what you are saying, it is how you are saying. So how well you are able to communicate the facts that are there in your mind. That the first impression regarding your communication skills is also developed through the self-introduction. So you need to make it good so that that impression is created about you, which will decide the course of your interview. And the third point is to evaluate your ability to summarize the salient features. So the word summarize is important because you need not be going on talking about the important aspects of your life to the point of making them bored. At the same time, you should not be making it too brief for them to get a complete picture. So you have to make it, you have to touch upon the important features of your life, neither making it too short or nor making it too long. And what are the things you need to highlight on? Your background. So your background means your name, family background, educational qualifications, etc., etc., and your character. How is your character? The essential features of your character. What are the personality traits or particular unique features that you have, and the accomplishments. So if any particular accomplishments that you have done, those things also you can include. So these are the highlights you need to, or these are the main points you need to touch upon in your self-introduction. Now we will talk about one particular candidate, or we'll take an example of a candidate, see his biodata, and then decide which is the best way to introduce this person called Sumit Nagal. He is 26 years of age. He is from a place called Bakoti in Kanpur, India, and his qualifications are he has completed his MTech from IIT Kanpur, CGPA 6.8, completed in 2020. Then he did his postgraduate diploma in management with specialization in public policy from IIM Lucknow, CGPA 6.2, completed in 2024. And the project he did is in monetary policy changes in the automobile sector with a special emphasis on commercial vehicle manufacturing. Then internship done at Research Assistant at Center for CBR, Center for Policy Research, New Delhi. Work experience, a design engineer at Mahindra in Mahindra, Pune for 2 years. So these are the important things regarding his qualification. Then background of family: father is a medical shop owner, mother is a primary school teacher, sister is working in the Indian Army as a sub-lieutenant, brother is invalid due to cerebral palsy. So brother is not doing anything. He is an invalid person because of this disease. And hobbies: playing guitar, traveling. Ambition: to establish an independent, self-funded organization, etc. Strengths: attention to detail, ability to focus on anything I'm passionate about. Weakness: getting bored with people and things easily. So these are the things, or the main things. Now, how do you, if this particular person is asked to introduce himself, how he would be doing it? This is our question. So first and foremost, when you begin your self-introduction, you acknowledge the people to whom you are doing it. That means you might have already greeted them while you went into that interview room, saying good morning or good afternoon or good evening or whatever. And whenever you say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, if there is a lady present in the interview board, always address your wishes to the lady first and then to the gentleman. So you can say good morning, madam, good morning, sirs. If there is more than one gentleman, good morning, sirs, or good morning, sir, or good afternoon, according to the time of the day. So that you will do when you enter into the interview room. But At the time of when you're asked to introduce yourself, being the first question, what you have to do is do it in a proper manner by acknowledging them again by saying, Madam, Sirs, or Madam, Sir. Then you say, my name is Sumit Nagal. I'm 26 years of age. I'm hailing from a place called Bakoti in Kanpur, near Kanpur in India. So this here, two things you need to remember. I've seen many people when they introduce yourself, they say myself Sumit Nagal. So this is not a proper English phrase, myself. So always say Madam, Sirs, or Madam, Sir. I am Sumit Nagal, or my name is Sumit Nagal. This is something important, and this is something that people generally don't do. And one more thing is, please don't state your first name as if you are talking with your friends. Some people say, "Hi, I'm Sumit." So that I've seen many times. So this is completely wrong. First thing is hi. You are not, hi is a greeting that you do with your friends or you do it in an informal fashion. Whereas here you are sitting in front of an interview board having a formal interview. So don't say informal expressions like hi, etc. and say your first name only. So if your name is Vigas Kumar Patak, you have to say hello, sirs, madam, or madam, sirs. My name is Vikas Kumar Patak. So the entire name you have to state and to always avoid expressions like hi, etc. I have seen once when one person was asked to introduce himself, he said, "Here we go." Okay, here we go. That was what he said. Means here goes or here we go. Means as if he is being asked to introduce himself among a group of friends and he is saying, okay, here we go. So that kind of informal expressions should be avoided. So coming back, you can say, Madam, Sirs, my name is Sumit Nagal. I'm 26 years of age. I hail from a place called Bakoti, which is a small village near Kanpur in India. So here again, something you need to remember is don't just state the name of the place. See, when you are taking part in a pan-India interview or an interview where candidates from places all over India are coming and taking part, just stating the name of that place is not going to be adequate for them to identify where we are from. So always talk about this place, then which is the main city near that place and which part of India it is coming. So you can say this is a Pakoti village is in near Kanpur in the state of Uttar Pradesh, India. If you say like that, that becomes very good. So once you complete that, then you can come to the educational qualifications. You can say, sir, that I'm basically an engineer and my specialization is mechanical engineering. I completed my engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur in the year 2020 and I passed out with CGP of 6.8. After that, I worked as a design engineer at Mahindra and Mahindra for a period of 2 years. See here, after his graduation, he is doing it chronologically. So this is something important. So always do it in a chronological manner. So talk with your basic graduation, for then talk about your work experience which you did after that, then come back to your next graduation. So Sumit will say, I completed after completing my graduation from IIT, I got placed in Mahindra and Mahindra as a design engineer through campus interview, and I worked in Pune at their factory for 2 years. During that period, I also prepared for my CAT exam and I got selected to IIM Lucknow in the year 2022, and I completed my postgraduate diploma in management from IIM Lucknow in the year 2024, and my specialization is public policy. So during my management course, I did a project on impact of monetary policy changes in the automobile sector with a special emphasis on commercial vehicle establishments. And I also did an internship for 3 months at research assistant as a research assistant at Center for Policy Research, New Delhi. So if you state like that, your educational qualifications are listed out in the chronological order, and that will give them a very good idea about how you accomplished your educational qualifications, in what order you did that. So this is very, very important. You do it in a chronological order starting from your basic graduation. If you are a fresh graduate and you have not done any other postgraduate qualifications, then you can say I have done my graduation in this subject from this college, which is or this university. Don't say just the college, because you cannot, nobody can identify the colleges all over India. So you have to state the name of the university and where this particular university is there. If you have studied in all India institutes like IIT, IIM, etc., then you can say the place where that IIT or IIM is situated. So IIT Kanpur itself is enough. IIM Lucknow is enough. You don't have to say IIM Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh and all. You need not say. So when you are have graduated from any all India institute, you can just mention the name of the institute and the place. Don't need to mention the state, etc., because all India institutes, the interview board is supposed to know that. But in the case of normal universities or colleges, you should specify the name of the college, the name of the university, and the place where that university is situated. That will give them a good idea. So always do it in a chronological order. And after completing the qualification part, you can come to the family background part. You can say that my father is running a medical shop at my village in Bakoti. This is our family business. We have been running it for 2 generations. That means from my grandfather's time, we have been doing this. And my mother is a primary school teacher. She is working in a school nearby our place. And my sister is, after her graduation, she got selected into the Indian Navy after writing that exam, that combined defense services exam, and she is now working as a sub lieutenant in the Indian Navy. My brother, unfortunately, has some genetic defect, and he is suffering from cerebral palsy, as a result of which he has got movement problems. So he is not doing anything. He is at home, and my mother is giving care to him. So those things you can talk about your family. Then you say that my hobbies include playing guitar and traveling. So I basically find time to travel to nearby places. I don't. It's not necessary that I have to go for long trips and all. Small trips is enough for me to satisfy my passion for traveling. And my ambition is to establish an independent organization for the sake of policy research on social and economic issues. My strengths as a person, I am a very straightforward, normal kind of person, easygoing kind of person. And my strengths include my attention to detail. So I'm very focused on all the things. Whenever I see something, I focus on all the minute things. And I also have a very good ability to continuously focus on things that I'm passionate about. Means when I am passionate about anything, I continuously do that thing. I do not have any problem in getting bored. But on that is also my weakness, because when I don't have any passion for anything, I get easily bored with that thing. Either it is a person or anything that I get easily bored. So these are my problems, but I'm working on the weakness part and to develop and trying to develop my interest in things that are not really in which I'm not really interested about. So if you state like this, almost the entire areas of your personality are covered in a very what you call means in a moderately detailed manner that will give them a good idea about your character and also about your communication skills. So you have and not explain too much on anything. Don't try to explain too much on any part of your character or personality or your background. At the same time, don't try to suppress anything or miss out anything. So these are the salient features you need to include: your name, your age, the place of birth, all those things, the qualifications to be done in a chronological order, your family background, talking about your father, mother, sister, brother, etc. Only your immediate family. You don't have to talk about your grandfathers or the ancestors. Those kind of things are not required. Then your hobbies, then your ambition, strengths, weaknesses. So these things you need to touch upon. This is how your introduction has to be done. Then you can say, sir, this is in a nutshell, this is what I have to state about myself. That should be your concluding sentence, so that they will know that you have concluded your self-introduction. So once you conclude your self-introduction, you should be ready for follow-up questions. Definitely there will be follow-up questions, because the entire purpose of self-introduction is to ask for or wait for or to get some follow-up questions. So this is how you can control the way your interview progresses. Whatever you state in front of an interview board, that based on that, the next question or the subsequent questions are going to come. So in a way, you can manage your interview, or the interview board will help you to manage your interview by stating the appropriate things, and based on whatever you say, they will ask questions. For example, once this is completed, do you know what kind of questions are going to come? If I had been in the interview board and this Sumit Nagal had done this self-introduction. My first question will be, what is the meaning of the word Sumit? So this is a general question that is asked many times. Many people, they do not prepare on this aspect, the meaning of their name. So Sumit means a person who is very friendly. So if you don't know the meaning of your name, that creates a very bad impression. So that is why whenever you prepare for an interview, always think about the meaning of your name. So the first question will be me. What it means, it is need not necessarily be the first question, but if I had been the interviewer, my first question will be, what is the meaning of the word Sumit? So many interviewers ask this, and they'll say, "How? What is the meaning of the surname Nagal? How? What is there any history behind the surname?" So many surnames in India have some history. So it might be connected with our Hindu mythologies or Vedas or many things. So if there is any history behind your surname Nagal, you also should be able to know that. That will be asked, and you have to tell them. Then they might ask you about your place. So Bakoti, what is this? Is there any speciality for this particular village called Bakoti? Which part of Kanpur is Bakoti, and how far is it from the district headquarters? And what is the situation in UP nowadays? Is there any law and order problem? Because at one time there were a lot of reports in newspapers regarding law and order issues in Uttar Pradesh, and also is there any law and order problem now? How business friendly is the state of Uttar Pradesh? And they can also ask you about Ayodhya, the Ram temple where it was recently inaugurated. Have you been there? What is the speciality of Ram temple? Why the BJP sitting MP lost the Faizabad seat during the recent parliamentary election, even after inaugurating the Ram temple? So the inauguration of the Ram temple was trumpeted by BJP as a very big achievement for the party, but still the Faizabad MP or the sitting MP of Faizabad lost the seat to Samajwadi Party. So what could be the reason? What is your opinion? So always they are asking about your opinion. So don't be afraid to give your opinion. Give them your opinion on whatever you think is the political situation in the constituency of Faizabad, and why the BJP MP lost the Faizabad seat. That those things you can discuss, and you can frankly tell them. They will not be you, even if you express your political views, they will not be having any issue, or provided you do it in a very logical and normal manner. Don't try to express extreme political views. Always try to be logical, and always try to be balanced in your outlook. As long as you are balanced, that is an indication of a professional, so they will not mind. Then coming to your educational qualifications, they might ask you what preparation you did to get into IIT Kanpur, and what were the salient features of your graduation study, whether you liked the atmosphere or the environment in IIT Kanpur. All these kind of questions they will ask you. Then they will come to the your PA postgraduate diploma in management aspect, public policy. Generally, many people, they don't take public policy as a specialization, so they will ask you a lot of questions on public policy. That means what is public policy, what is its importance, and whether IIM Lucknow is a good place to study public policy, what is the exposure you got with regard to this particular subject, and regarding the management project, why this monetary policy changes is taken as a project. Is there any particular reason why you took monetary policy as a project for commercial vehicle? Because generally commercial vehicle manufacturers and monetary policy, they don't really gel with each other. So is there any particular reason? What is monetary policy? What is the monetary policy committee of RBI? How monetary policy affects the industries in India? So all these things you are supposed to know, because you have if a person has studied this or done this management product, he should be able to answer all these questions easily. The point is that whatever project you do and whatever internship you do, they are very, very important, especially in the education that you did just prior to the interview. So they will not be focusing on the project you did in IIT too much. You have to be prepared about it, but your immediate education is about postgraduate diploma in management from IIM Lucknow. So most of the questions will be based on the project as well as the internship you did as part of your study at IIM Lucknow. That doesn't mean that IIT Kanpur study, they will not ask you anything. They may ask you, but most of the questions will be focused on this thing. So that is why you need to focus on this particular aspect. And they also will ask you what is Center for Policy Research, whether it is an autonomous organization or a central government organization, and what they are doing. What did you do as a research assistant at Center for Policy Research? Did you help that experience in any way in improving your knowledge about public policy? All these questions will come to you. So you will have to ask them, answer that. And your work experience, they will ask you, what were you doing at Mahindra and Mahindra? What is the importance of Mahindra and Mahindra? And how many, which are the main commercial vehicle manufacturers in India at present? Which company is the leading commercial vehicle manufacturer in India for the year 2023-24? Which company was the leading passenger vehicle manufacturer for the year 2020, 23, and 24? All these kind of questions related to this aspect will be asked. Then regarding your family background, they will ask you what kind of medical shop. Is it a shop selling allopathic medicals or Ayurvedic medicals? What is Ayush? What is the full form of Ayush, and whether Ayush is doing, or whether Ayush is relevant? Do you feel that allopathy is the dominant medicine or the superior medicine medical stream in India, or Ayush has got any relevance in the present day? All these kind of questions can be asked. And about your mother's education also, they may ask you whether she is teaching in a primary school or a government school or a private school, what is the salary she is getting, all these kind of questions. And regarding this, again, a lot of questions will be there, because only recently ladies are getting permanent commission in the Indian Armed Forces. They will ask you about the controversy regarding the short service commission versus the permanent commission, the representation of women in the Indian Armed Forces, how whether it is good or bad, means whether the women as a fighting unit, whether they can function effectively like men during battle situations. All these kind of questions will be asked you, so you need to be prepared about these kind of things. So, and about the cerebral palsy, what kind of a disease is it? Is it a curable disease or an incurable disease? What is the management of how the disease is being managed? All these kind of questions will be asked. So basically, whatever is connected to your family background and the general questions related to that, you should be prepared. Then coming to your hobbies, they will ask you who is the name some 5 leading guitar legends in the world, and what is the type of traveling, or what is the experience of your traveling, or what kind of happiness you get from traveling, or the different places you visited, the different experiences you had. All these kind of questions will be asked. Then they will come to your, if they are asking about your ambition, they will ask you why this self-funded organization, because already there are a lot of autonomous organizations which are doing policy research in India. So another organization, what is going to be special or peculiar about the organization you are going to set up? Because a lot of policy research organizations are there in India. So there has to be something unique or peculiar. So what is that uniqueness, and how you plan to fund your organization? Because say if you are going to establish a self-funded organization, it needs a lot of money. So how you are going to raise that money? So all these kind of questions will be there. And the strengths and weaknesses, they will ask you about the attention to detail. Yes, good ability to focus. But this is going to be a problem for you, they will say, because if you are going to work in a corporate environment, you may have to deal with many tasks in which you may not be very passionate about. So in such cases, how you are going to manage? So the answer to that, if Sumit is asked that question, then he can say that, sir, I will be applying for only for those posts in which I can contribute constructively. So I will not be applying for operations manager kind of post, or any post where I have to do multitasking of a different variety of tasks, but I'll be applying for posts where I am getting some kind of strategical analyst or policy analyst or policy developer, some kind of positions in which I will be exclusively dealing with the one aspect of policy development, so that I can use my talents as well as my training to its most effective level. So this should be the way you should be. Sumit should be answering this question. So the point is that we are not talking about Sumit. The entire point is that when you have to first list out your biodata like this, think about the various aspects on which questions could come. The questions could be either personal or something related to general awareness that is connected to your biodata. So that is how the questions will be there. First, they will ask you personal questions. Then they will ask you some relevant questions that are not directly connected to your biodata, but in some way connected to what you have done. So that is why these all kinds of possible questions you need to think of by putting or keeping your biodata in your front. So this is how the interview will progress. And if this interview were to take place today, I'll tell you one important question they might ask. Means this is one important news item that has come 2 days ago. That is this Vadwan port was means the foundation stone laying ceremony of the Vadwan port was conducted day before yesterday. So the question could be, because this is a policy issue. So this person Sumit has done his management qualification in public policy. They might ask you these kind of questions. What is the importance of the Vadwan port project? And where is this project coming up? Which are the important ports in India? So there are 13 major ports in India in the government sector, which are there, and which are the important private ports in India, and why ports are important. So why these seaports are important, why the union government is sending so much money on infrastructure development. So you should know something about Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti or PM Gati Shakti project, as a result of which the government is on a very intensive drive to develop the infrastructure of our country by developing airports, seaports, waterways, railway infrastructure, road infrastructure, etc., so that India become competent in the world as a manufacturing destination. So ultimately, we want to compete with China in manufacturing. So our problem is not in developing the manufacturing capacity. Our problem is in developing the infrastructure so that the goods that we manufacture has to be transported to the other countries or the destinations in a very quick and efficient manner. And we are lacking in this area. That is why the PM Gati Shakti project was envisaged by the government to develop the infrastructure of Indian logistical scenario. So they will be asking you why the government is spending, because for this year's budget around 1 lakh crore rupees is earmarked for infrastructure itself. So why such a big budget is given for infrastructure suddenly? Because we are already the fourth largest economy in the world, and if you want to become the third largest economy or the second largest economy, we need to develop the infrastructure. So that is the simple answer. And then these questions are all fact-based questions. Then comes the opinion-based question. Sound economics need not be good politics. Do you agree? So here, whatever is good from an economic point of view may not be good from a political point of view. It means the crowd or the people will not be very pleased when you go, or when the government administers the system using economic principles, because then the people may not be getting too much easy money or welfare measures. So that is why sound economics need not be good politics. Do you agree or not agree? So you can, that is a issue where you have to discuss. Means the economic policies may not always be liked by the people in the short run, but in the long run, the people themselves are going to be benefited because of sound economics. So in the short run, yes, this is sound economics may not be good politics, but in the long run, sound economics is always good politics. That should be the way you should answer this particular question. And the next question will be, as a policy maker, how do you balance growth priorities with welfare populism? So again, a different type, the same question that is stated here, but in a different manner. How growth priorities can be balanced with welfare populism. So politicians, on the whole, they'll be interested in welfare populism, where they give money to people through some schemes or projects, etc., so that they are happy, so that they will vote the government again to power. But that is not going to help the long-term growth. So how do you balance growth priorities with welfare populism? So you can say that policymakers always will give more priority to growth. So whereas welfare is also needed because short-term welfare is also needed for the people. So if I have been given or if I am given some 100 rupees, I will ensure that 75 rupees is earmarked for growth and 25 rupees for populism. So that way, 75-25 priority will be given by me as a policy maker for the growth as versus welfare question. So that way you should be able to answer this. So this is how you need to answer the kind of questions that are based on your biodata. So when you're talking about your biodata, don't think that the questions will be restricted only to your biodata. There will be some general questions based on the biodata. Those general questions will be based on current affairs like this, general awareness like this, because this is not a current affair. These two are current affairs. Yes, by reading the newspapers, you can understand that what one port is coming up in Maharashtra, and this is a very important port project. The government is spending around 72,000 crore for developing the port infrastructure so that we become able to handle the containers in a very quick and efficient way. And which are the important ports in India? This is not current affairs, but when you read that newspaper article, you have to think about this also. At present, which are the important ports in India? There are 13 major ports in India, and which is the largest port by container traffic. Paradip port in Odisha is the largest port in by volume of cargo handled last year. And we so many other things regarding the important ports, and which is the important private port in India. It is the Mundra port run by Adani Group, is the the biggest private port in India. Then about the PM Gati Shakti, again a general awareness question. What is PM Gati Shakti? Why government is spending so much on infrastructure development? Then the opinion-based questions like this. So whenever you read a particular newspaper article, you have to think about all the connected issues related to that article, then find answers for the connected issues. That way you will be able to widen your knowledge, and this knowledge can be connected to your biodata in some ways. So that is what the interview board will be doing. So when you are able to prepare by thinking about your biodata and connect it with some relevant issues that are going on in the world, then your performance or your preparation will become more expansive and more comprehensive. That kind of preparation will help you in performing the interview in a very good manner. So you only have to perform reasonably well to impress the board. See, the board is always open-minded. Don't think that the board is looking at your faults all the time. No, the board also want you to succeed. So if you prepare or well and perform at around 75% of our capacity, then that is enough to please the board. You will be getting good marks. So this is how you have to do it, and this takes time. You need to do it in a slow and steady manner, the gradual manner, because this part, the assimilating of knowledge part, is very, very important. So this newspaper reading you have to do simultaneously with your other preparation by focusing on the important things and trying to develop knowledge about the connected issues, so that your knowledge becomes comprehensive, and then you will be able to perform in the interviews in a very good manner. So that's all for this session. We will be discussing more sessions, more topics like this in the coming sessions. All, I hope you have liked the content. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have liked it. Thank you. Bye bye.